Hello everyone, my name is Russell and I'm responsible for global business development here at Manus. Today is a very exciting day for us, as together with my colleagues Cyril, Ben and Arsène, we will walk you through our latest Manus developments. Before we start, I would like to mention a few things. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to ask them in the chat. At the end of the webinar, we have a live Q&A where we will answer your questions right away. If there's no time left to answer all the questions, we will get back to you via email on that. Next to that, if you see during the webinar that you're very interested in our gloves or in the Polygon, we have a global network of resellers which are listed on our website. Please reach out to the reseller located in your region. They will be very happy to help you. Now I will walk you through the agenda. So we will start with Polygon first, which is followed up by Ben, who will present the Prime II. Then we'll give you a deep insight in our roadmap for 2020. And after that, we will show you our regional resellers. And all at the end, we will have the live Q&A. Okay, let's start with Polygon. And you see already a video playing now behind me. Polygon is a full body tracking software. So Polygon uses 6 data points on your body to track your body movements. Okay, here's it playing. So Polygon uses the orientation and the positions of these 6 data points, and that allows you to use your full body in VR. If you take a look at the visual behind me, you see 6 data points on the person, 2 on the feet, 2 on each hand, 1 around the waist, and the headset in this case is a data point as well. Then the system self-calibrates the distance between those data points, and it allows you to have your full body in VR. Basically like a skeleton. So the visual behind me playing, Polygon is also useful as multiplayer. So you can, for example, review CAD models or review concepts together with your colleagues or customers via VR. You can do this in the same environment, like for example a Steam VR environment, or other environments are compatible as well. And with that, it is very interesting to make the necessary changes to these concepts, and you can do that right away in VR instead of other solutions which might take way longer than that. We have currently a Unity plugin available for Polygon. However, we have some very interesting news to share with you today. In September, we will launch our Unreal plugin. And from that moment on, Polygon will become an entry-level mocap solution. By using LiveLink, you can see the movements in real time on the avatar right away. And that is really, really interesting. We will also add trackers 7 and 8 on the upper arms, and the headset is replaced with a tracker as well on the head, so you're all wireless and ready to go. Then Polygon is your go-to solution for mocap. Now Arsène will show you how Polygon is working in a live demo. Arsène is already using a tracker on the head, so without a headset. I hope you enjoy it, and good luck, Arsène.
Hi everyone, as my colleague Russell introduced me, I'm Arsène. I'm a VR product specialist, and I will showcase Polygon to you. As Russell mentioned, we'll preview the head tracker. So instead of using a headset, which we have videos on our YouTube channel, we will showcase it with the head tracker. First, I will show you how easy it is to set up Polygon. What do you need to do? You need to put on these straps. It's a very simple and straightforward process. First, I will start with my feet. Simply put on the straps for the feet. Okay. Then I'll do my hip. Next, the straps for the hands. Okay. And finally, the strap for my hat. We'll move the chair away. And that's it. I'm now wearing everything that you need. Straps on your feet, on your hand, on around the waist, and on the hat. Very simple, very straightforward. Next up, we'll move to the calibration, which is 6 steps with an easy to follow instruction, which we will go through. First up is calibrating the wrists. We'll bend the wrists down and up. Next up is rotating the wrists. And then third, putting the hands together. Step 4 is a T-pose. And step 5 is a neutral pose, an N pose. And then the final step is calibrating the neck. And that concludes the calibration. So as you can see, putting on the straps, calibrating, it takes you a couple minutes, 2 minutes or so. It's very easy, very quick. And as you can see, it's already working. It's in real time. You can see all my body movement being shown on the video. You can walk around, you can crouch, everything you're doing will work in real time in Polygon. What you're seeing right now is being live streamed to Unity. Later on, we will also make this data available in other applications such as Unreal and Motion Builder. And this concludes the technical demonstration. I will move, my colleague Ben will take over from here, and he will talk to you about the Prime II gloves. See you, bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben and I'm the Business Development Manager for the Asia Pacific region here at Manus. And I'm here today to tell you more about the newest glove, Prime II. This section will be split into different subsections. So we'll start off with the product range, the lineup. So we have different variations of the glove. Then I will move over to the improvements of the glove, like the added features and what's the difference between a Prime II glove and a Prime I glove. And then I will give the stage to my colleague Cyril, who will show the glove in action. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you can see here on screen, this is the Prime II glove. And the biggest improvement we have made with this glove is that we have added a bunch of sensors to the glove. And we've also improved the overall accuracy and tracking capabilities of the gloves, resulting in a way more realistic hand capture if you compare it to a Prime I hand capture. Furthermore, we have added some quality of life improvements to the glove, such as a swappable battery, like this. This is a new feature, and we have a bunch more of quality of life improvements, which I will show in the next slide. Moving on, we have the Prime II haptic glove. This is the glove specifically designed for VR applications. So if you compare Prime II with Prime II haptic, you can see that we have equipped haptic feedback modules to the tip of your fingers. And what this allows you to do is when you touch objects, virtual objects in a VR training, let's say for example, the haptic feedback modules will give tactile feedback, giving you the sensation of actually touching stuff in VR. Both the Prime II and Prime II haptic, they come with the adapter for a Vive tracker included in the box. And then lastly, we have the Prime II Xsense glove. And this is your go-to Manus data glove for motion capture. So as you can see here on the picture, This comes with an adapter for an Xsense IMU. There's actually two adapters included in the box. So you get one for a link suit and one for an Awinda system. And important to note is that this glove is natively supported in MVN 2020. So that means when you have an Xsense full body motion capture solution, you go to MVN and then you can actually click, hey, I want also like hand and finger tracking together with my full body solution. Then the data of the glove, the Xsense glove, will be imported into MVN. So it is like one data stream in your pipeline. So this is the product range. Basically we have one glove for mocap, the Prime II haptic specifically designed for VR, and then the Prime II glove is the go-to glove for both mocap and VR. Moving on to the next slide, the Prime II series, like what is new? First of all, we have enabled finger spreading or abduction and also overstretching sensors or hyperextension. What that means is we can now track this movement as well. Just so you know, this wasn't possible with Prime 1 because we had less sensors in the Prime 1, and it is made possible with Prime 2. Same goes for the overstretching. So if you do this in any mocap, you can now track what's going on screen. And this has all been enabled by adding some sensors and also increased the tracking capability of these sensors. Furthermore, we have a new design, as you can see here on screen. You may or may not have noticed, but we have completely redesigned our house style, if you like, to a more industrial design. You can also see it in our gloves. Furthermore, we have also increased the fit and also the kind of fabric we use, so it's more comfortable than Prime 1. And also because of the new design of the glove, the new fit, the flex sensor, so the sensor inside of the glove, fits better and stays better in position, also resulting in a better motion capture of the hand and fingers. Then, as you can see, on top of the glove, we have a new casing. As I mentioned, it comes with interchangeable batteries. Good to point out is that it's both a high capacity battery, so it lasts longer than Prime 1. But if you have any long record sessions, you can just easily swap out and put in a new battery to just keep going. Sarah will also showcase this after this slide. Also, the new mounting system allows you to attach different kind of positional trackers to your glove. So as mentioned, Prime II and Prime II haptic both come with the Vive tracker adapter, so you can easily attach it to the glove. The Xsense model comes with the Xsense adapters, but this also allows us to keep developing multiple adapters to basically have it as a universal hardware agnostic glove. You can basically put any kind of positional tracker on top of the glove. Lastly, this is very important, especially during these times of Corona pandemic. The new glove is washable. So that means you can pull out the electronics of the glove like this. So you can, there's Velcro, so you can pull out the electronics and then you can wash the glove in a washing machine. Also good to point out, if you purchase a set of gloves, it doesn't really matter what kind of edition you purchase, you can actually buy an extra set of textile gloves. So you purchase the gloves one time and then you have multiple sets of textile gloves for multiple users. This way, any actor or any colleague who is doing a training simulation, let's say, can have its own pair of glove. Then, moving on, we've talked about the hardware specs of the glove. It goes without saying that we also have a lot of software within Manus. So our glove comes with multiple plugins, such as a Unity plugin upon release. So we will ship the Prime II gloves out by the end of this month, and all users will gain access to the Unity plugin, so it's a plug and play solution right there, and with the SDK for the glove. Later in September, we will launch the plugins for both Unreal Engine 4, including LiveLink, and also Motion Builder. This was all you need to know for the Prime 2 glove. Now I will clean the stage for my colleague Cyril, who will showcase what the glove is capable of. Have fun!
Thank you for the introduction, Ben. Hello everyone, my name is Serdal and I'm the marketing manager at Manus. And I'm here today to show you the Prime 2 in action. The first feature that I want to start with is the finger spreading possibilities. Finger spreading means that when I move away my fingers from each other, it's actually being measured. I have full freedom for every finger and the tracking will be possible for 360 degrees. What that does, it actually allows you to get genuine finger movement, which makes the motion capture data more natural, but also helps the experience in VR feel actually immersive. Another thing that we added is the overstretching possibilities. And what we mean by overstretching is that when I move my fingers backwards, the glove is actually measuring it. This can also happen for the thumb. And again, what it does, it makes the movement, the tracking data feel more natural. And the beautiful thing, in my opinion, is that we don't make use of gestures. So we don't translate the movement into a gesture and lock it in like that. What we do is we genuinely track what your fingers are doing and translating that into direct data. Another beautiful feature that we have is a very practical one. We work with swappable batteries now. And what that means is that when I pull out my battery that's going empty, I can literally swap it and plug it back in. The glove will need a few seconds to start up again. And after starting up, I won't need to calibrate. I can just start using my glove again without any hassle. Here's my glove again. As you can see, I don't need to calibrate and my finger calibration is back again. So what that does is it makes it possible for longer mocap sessions, but also a longer VR session. So the idea of this is we actually listened to our customers and we really tried to upgrade the features of not only the tracking, but also the use of the glove. Another feedback point that we got and we really worked hard on is the tracking mounting system. So for example, what I have here is an X-Sense tracker and I can easily mount it just by sliding it on top of our casing. The tracker is mounted and I can use it directly in an X-Sense setting. For example, another tracker that I can mount is the Vive tracker, which just easily clicks in, no hassle. I don't need to take off my gloves. I don't need to do anything special with it. It's just a literally click and play. What I want to show you also is grabbing objects, for example, because that's an important thing. As I mentioned, because we don't make use of gestures, what I can do is I can track any type of movement that I want. For example, bending my fingers over each other is also possible. What I can also do is I can actually pinch with my index finger. The nicest thing that we actually try to focus on this year is make it possible for Manus users to have a full setup. And with a full setup, I mean combining the gloves with Polygon. So Polygon brings your full body into VR or for any type of motion capture that you want to do with it. And with the addition of these gloves, which are directly plug and play in this solution, you can get a full setup which works together with each other and you don't need to do any bypassing or any custom coding. And the nice thing is we provide orientation of trackers, we provide plugins, for example, for Unity, Unreal, or Motion Builder. And the thing that we really focused on is making it easier for you and help you save time for motion capture or for VR usage. Thank you for listening, and let's go back to Ben.
So thank you, Sadal, for showing us the Prime II glove. As you could just see in the showcase, this was actually the new Manus dashboard, or the new Manus user interface, which I was showing to you. So we have replaced Apollo 2019 with the Manus Core software. That also means when you purchase a set of Manus gloves, you will get access to our resource center, you will get a login. And with that login, you can download all the software utilities, such as the Manus dashboard, the SDK, as well as the plugins for your set of gloves. Then, moving on to our roadmap, we've actually split the roadmap into 2 different slides. So this will be the roadmap for Polygon, and we're going to show you what will be launched from now until the end of this year in terms of products, but also software features, if you will. So starting off, what we will launch for Polygon in September, as Russell mentioned in the beginning of this webinar, we will launch our Unreal plugin, including LiveLink for Polygon. This is quite a big one, because you can obviously use LiveLink to live stream your motion capture recording into Unreal and see what you're doing on the spot. Then next up, also in September, there is a major update coming for Polygon. What we will be launching is the head tracker support, which you already saw my colleague Arsène using. So Polygon, as of right now, you need to use with a VR headset. So it's basically a VR only product. But later in September, you can also use it without being tethered to your PC, giving you a lot of freedom of movement that way. To make it more accurate, the body tracking, we will also add tracker 7 and 8. We will position them on your upper arms, so you can actually track more movements with the IK. Then, next up, we will add a functionality to the Manus dashboard, which is called the FBX export. That means you can actually do some live recording in the Manus dashboard with your IK, with Polygon, and then save it as FBX file. Extract it from the Manus dashboard and use it into any 3D animation program. And then finally, as part of this major update, is the Motion Builder plugin. This will also be made available in September for Polygon. Then finally, the last update for Polygon is the strap set. So as mentioned in the major update for September, we will add all kind of functionalities and all kind of trackers to the Polygon solution. We will come with our own strap set, which includes a headband, 2 for your upper arms, 1 for your waist, including hand straps if you choose to actually not want to use finger movements, and also 2 for your feet. Obviously, it goes without saying, if you want to do a performance capture, like a really well motion capture, hand and finger tracking is the way to go. Next up, we have the Prime II timeline. So we first start off all the way to my right is the Prime II launch, which has been launched already, start of July. We will start shipping the Prime II gloves to customers who already ordered by the end of this month. Then the next update will be launched in the beginning of September, which is the Motion Builder plugin for your Prime II gloves. So upon receiving your Prime II gloves, this Motion Builder plugin will be added to your Resource Center account. Then, same as for Polygon, we will launch the Unreal Engine 4, including LiveLink plugin for Prime II. Then, also, same as for Polygon, we will add an FBX export to your dashboard. That means if you need to do some simple hand capture, you can go to your Manus dashboard after calibration your gloves, which takes about 45 seconds. You can actually record some hand and finger capture in your Manus dashboard, extract it as FBX file, and then move it into any third-party software. Next up, and this is a big one. So I told you that we have 3 gloves in our product range, being Prime II Haptic for VR, and Prime II Xsense for motion capture. We will add a 4th glove to this lineup end of September, which is the Prime II ART glove. So it goes without saying, this because we have a universal mounting adapter, we will have an ART positional tracker included in the box. And this glove takes the positional data of the ART ecosystem into the Manus dashboard. And that way you can use the glove in an ART system. Also in September, quite a busy month, end of September, we will launch the Prime II Oculus controller mounts, which means it will also be compatible with an Oculus system. Good to point out is that this will not be a fifth glove, but you can acquire these adapters separately from either our resellers or from us directly. I have two more topics for you. We aim to launch the Autodesk VRED plugin for our gloves in November. And also it's within our roadmap, within our schedule, to launch the native support in ICIDO with our gloves. This was all for the roadmap for Prime II, for Polygon and for Prime II. Now we will move over to the last topic of our presentation, which is our global network. So what we have is, obviously we are a company located in the Netherlands, but in order to have like a global reach and to help you guys out throughout the world, we work with official distributors. We have distributors in the US, as you can see on screen. We have quite a lot of distributors in Europe and also in the Asia Pacific region, so Asia and Australia. So where you can find these resellers is on our website, manusvr.com/where to buy. And this way you can get in contact with your official reseller in your own time zone, in your own language. All of our resellers have demo equipment available. So if you first want to try out either Polygon or the gloves to see if it fits in your pipeline, if it fits in your VR training application, then just reach out to them and they're happy to help you out in that case. This was the presentation. I see we have a lot of questions in chat. So we will move over to the Q&A session. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to either email them, reach out to a reseller, or ask them now in chat. Thank you.
Hi again, we're here for the Q&A. We saw you asked a lot of very good questions in the chat, so we're here to answer them all. We're waiting for production to shoot us the first question and we can get going.
Yep. Let's see. The first question.
Is there a perpetual license for Polygon?
That's a good question. Bart?
Yes, there's a perpetual license for Polygon. It basically comes with 3 years of constant updates, as you've seen on the roadmap. After that, there won't be any updates anymore, but there will be support, maintenance. We'll make sure your license will work forever, and it will work forever.
So the next question, what with changed height, for example, jump and staying on box or table upper. So Polygon right now is made to be used on a flat surface, but you can use it on, for example, elevated steps or different heights, but it is primarily designed to be used on a flat surface. But you can climb, you can step on things.
We have the showcase video where my colleague here actually jumps a few times, where you can see that it tracks pretty well.
Yeah. In the YouTube videos we have available online, you can see me jump and twist around, even with a headset on, without issue. Next question. Does Polygon work with the controllers instead of trackers, gloves on the hands? Right now it does not, but very soon it will.
Yeah.
So that is part of the reason why we showcase Polygon without gloves, is to show that Polygon and our gloves can be used separate of each other, because we understand that for certain use cases, primarily focused on cost, you might want to use controllers.
I think a lot of users will want to use controllers, and that's why we implemented in the next update that when you hold the trackers, the controllers, and you do the same calibration, it doesn't matter where the point is exactly, polygonal adjustment will work.
Exactly, that is why the calibration is already made like that. So moving the hands like this and like that gives the center of your wrist, regardless of the kind of controller or tracker you're using. Next up, let let me see. Does that mean you don't need Apollo to send the data to Xsense MVN Animate? So what we did with Apollo 2019 and MVN is Apollo would send the data to MVN. What we're now doing is we have an entirely new SDK that is also sending its data to MVN. Apollo is replaced by Manus Core. And the difference between Manus Core and Apollo is that Manus Core is a background application. So it works in the background, it sends all the GLOB and Polygon data to whatever application. You don't need to have it open. But if you do, you can use the Manus dashboard in the same way you used the Apollo interface before.
Yeah, don't be shocked if you are a Prime 1 and Apollo user. We are not discontinuing that support. Your gloves will still work in MVN, don't worry. The Prime 2 will solely ship with the new Manus Core. Also, the Prime 1 is supported in the new Manus Core.
Next question. Can you perform per finger movement, such as a direct point with the index finger? So the way that the Prime 2 gloves work is we capture specific areas of the finger, or specific motions, I should say. So with Prime 2, we are capturing the bend of these two joints, as well as the movement of the finger. So spreading the fingers, as well as bending the fingers, are measured individually. So you can move all of your fingers individually, you can bend them individually, and it's all captured. You can do like a peace sign, you can do pinching, you can do all kinds of movements with your fingers. What kind of data can be read out of the glove movement and positions? So the gloves themselves, they do not have positional data, so we're using Vive trackers in the showcase today. For Polygon, the gloves themselves calculate what you're doing with your hands. So there's a short calibration, and with the calibration we know what you're doing with your hands. And you can extract the sensor data and you can get an animated skeleton that represents what you're doing with your hand.
We are looking at implementing or exporting ergonomics data to the dashboard as well.
Yeah.
Currently we're investigating the accuracy of our system, and then we want to implement that system so you, in the dashboard so you can immediately get the ergonomics data, because I know a lot of customers are waiting for this.
The next question is, can we get hand and finger kinematics data with Manus? If yes, have you done any validation on that comparing to the gold standard, for example, optoelectronic systems? We've worked together with several universities in the past, but we don't really have a kinematic model that you can easily export or use for rehabilitation or some sort.
Will the Polygon support the Manus Prime 1? Yes, 100%. It will work without Prime 1s or without Prime gloves. It will work with the Prime 1 and with the Prime 2. Can Polygon compensate for fewer trackers, for example, the missing feet tracker? The answer is yes and no. Polygon can compensate for less trackers. Let's say you go from 104 back to 6. Polygon will compensate. But Polygon is an IK system, and an IK takes an endpoint at your body and then calculates skeleton back. So if it's missing the endpoint, there's no compensation because there's no endpoint to calculate back from. So as long as we have the outer points, Polygon will compensate. No outer point, Polygon will lose tracking.
The next question, so the glove has IMUs in each finger now. Yes, the gloves have IMUs in each finger, but they also have flex sensors in each fingers. So we've taken our proven sensor from the Prime 1 and we've improved the sensor itself, the shape and the tracking accuracy, and we've added extra orientation sensors, IMUs, to enable finger spreading. And what we're doing, which is different from competitors, is we are combining this data. We have hybrid data that takes the good and reliable data from a flex sensor and combines it with the, how would you say that, like the more data you have from an orientation sensor.
It's basically a hard, constant recalibration of the IMU.
Yeah.
So it can't drift because it's locked to another sensor. So it does allow you to move, but it cannot go away. And that's why you saw the glove being so stable as it was. Any Polygon software updates during subscription period would be free? Yes. Polygon comes in a license form. You pay per year, and during that year you will get all the updates. If you, as I mentioned before, get the perpetual license, you will get all the updates for free for the first 3 years, and after that you won't get any updates, but you will get support and your license will work forever.
Let's see, next question. In September, is FBX export available? But from what software? In MVN Animate, can I export data with fingers from Manus 2 together at this moment? So what we will add to the Manus dashboard is the ability to, independent of other software, record your body data, either your hands or Polygon or both, and export that. So you can use it in Maya, you can use it in Max, you can use it in Blender, you can use it outside of the Manus software. Alongside of that, we are working with Accents on integrating the Prime 2 in MVN. So you can continue to use MVN just like what you can do now with the Prime 1 gloves. So with the MVN 2020 launch, you can use your Prime 2 the same way as you use your Prime 1s with the current version of MVN.
This one's for you.
Yeah, is it possible to minimize the offset in crossing fingers, or is this offset always there? So what we do is, so the sensors in the gloves measure what you're doing, and we have a calibration step for each user. But in our plugins, you have control over the visualization. So for example, in the Unity plugin that we have, you can change the visualization of your hand model. So if you feel like that the way that the hand looks is not correct, or you want to make it look different, you can do that using the plugins. Let's see. A question regarding COVID-19. Can I use gummy gloves and put them over the glove part of the sensor so I don't have to wash them and I can show it to more than one person? So for hygienics, there are probably a couple of ways you could go about using the Prime gloves. As Ben mentioned in the presentation, the fabrics are interchangeable, so you can have fabrics that you remove and disinfect with UV or alcohol or other kind of disinfectants, and then reinsert a sensor. And another possibility would be wearing other kind of hygienic gloves inside of the glove.
Yes. We do strongly recommend using the Manus textile gloves and not just a custom gummy glove. There's about 3 years of R&D in the glove itself, because the sensors need to be tied to your fingers. So see it as putting the electronics on your hand and then taping them finger by finger. The gloves allow you to not having to tape. Anything else would. So when it comes to hygiene, the only real answer is use several pairs of the textile gloves. They are available through upcoming web shop, through our resellers. But you could also, when you request a quote, request several textile gloves in addition.
Yeah, the worry I would have about using like these kind of medical gloves that are sticky is that it would probably change the characteristics of the glove following your hand. So as my colleague Bart mentioned, we've put a lot of effort in making sure that the gloves fit well and follow your fingers well, and changing that by putting something like a sticky glove inside of it probably won't improve that.
If I'm not interested in legs at all, i.e. a floating torso avatar, would that work at all for Polygon? At this time, no. We've been focusing on a real full body. But if you have any particular request, and we noticed that a lot of people are requesting these type of features, then we will put them in the roadmap and we will push it out in the next update very quick. We're very agile and listening to the community. What would you like? We can do it. Just tell us what you want and we'll deliver.
Next question. how is the capture quality with more than one performer in the set? Pretty decent. The biggest thing you need to consider with having multiple performers in an area is that you don't occlude each other. Since for what we're doing now with Polygon, we're using base stations. The Vive trackers, they need to be visible for the base stations.
Yeah, but there's the crux, I guess, and the answer is Manus is not. Manus is depending on what kind of third-party hardware for the real motion capture you use. As my colleague mentioned, VR trackers, but let's say OptiTrack and Xsense, Vicon. The limitations will be in what kind of motion capture hardware your studio or your set will have, and the limitation of that is your limitation. Polygon does not mind 1,000 performers in the same room.
Next question. In your Polygon videos, you show a Manus dongle. Is this just used for licensing, or does it provide any connectivity? We have a dongle that you can use for licensing, but this same dongle can also be used to connect gloves. So in case that you're using Polygon without gloves, you have a dongle connected to your computer just for licensing. But if you're using Polygon with gloves, you can use that same dongle for connecting your gloves wirelessly. So they can be used for either use case. Yeah. And the last question, does the Prime II address the thumb moving or going bad while using mocap? So some of the things that we changed in regard to the sensors is that we limit the way that the fingers move. And because now we are utilizing both the flex data and the IMU data, we can better compensate for drift and for other kind of behavior. So we feel confident that the motion of your hand is going to look a lot better than the Prime one.
Yeah, we also use substantial better IMUs than we did on the Prime one.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any plans to adjust the price point to make it more appealing to the consumer market? Naturally, we assume you're talking about both Polygon and the gloves. For Polygon, we're looking, for example, partnerships with games, developers, and see if we can make a package of Polygon that could be implemented in that game so you could use it without having to pay for it as a consumer. For the gloves, it's a little bit more tricky. We are a relatively small company, and to go to consumer electronics, you need massive economies of scale that we would love to have, where we are trying to grow towards to, but are not there yet. Yes, we would like to be ending in consumer products. However, it's going to give us a few years to grow to that point.
Next question. Is Polygon only working with Vive trackers and sensors? No. Polygon is a inverse kinematic solution, and if you give it data points, it will work with anything. The showcase we did today, you saw me do, was with Vive trackers, but as mentioned in the presentation, we will also have support for ART trackers, but any kind of positional trackers could be used to use it. Next question. Can Polygon be used with some manner of DNA scaling to represent specific anthropometrical dimensions? So using different, like on a different avatar, kind of. The way that Polygon works right now, as you could see, is it calibrates to your skeleton, and it will try to match what you are doing with your body as close as possible. In the big September update, we will also introduce the ability to do live retargeting. So retargeting my body live on a avatar with different body dimensions.
Next question. Will the Xsense version also be compatible with Polygon and the Vive box? Compatibility of Polygon will be with everything. It will work without gloves, with Prime 1s, with Prime 2s, Prime 2 haptics, and Prime 2 Xsense, Prime 2 any model we will release. you actually switched the question a bit too quick. And if the Xsense gloves are compatible with the $5, the answer is yes. The Xsense edition will have a connector for the IMU tracker, but also the software will be able to stream its data into Xsense MVN. On top of that, it will be still compatible with the SteamVR ecosystem. So you're getting both. That's also why they're probably slightly more expensive.
Next question. What integration effort, software-wise, is required if I want to switch from Prime 1 to Prime 2? I'm currently using the Hermes C++ SDK. Very little. So if you're using Hermes, you are already using what we are now calling Manus Core. It's the same SDK, and we are continuing to support it, including Prime 2 support.
Yeah.
So there will be updates, but they will be relatively small updates.
Yeah, you already switched.
Yeah. Next question. Is the full suit capture magnetic or inertial? Does it work on Wi-Fi or separate channel? So to answer that question, we want to make it clear that Polygon itself is not a suit. It's a middleware. It's a software solution, and you can use it with Vive trackers, and you can use it with other kind of tracking systems. And so to answer that, it would depend on what kind of tracking system you're using. In the case of Vive trackers, it's a hybrid system. It is optical. It's like with laser sensors and with IMUs, and it uses its own kind of wireless connectivity. The Vive trackers use a custom proprietary radio frequency protocol that runs on 2.4 gigahertz. And they do their own channel selection, that kind of stuff. Next question. Are the gloves magnetic or inertial? So the Prime 2 gloves are both. The Prime 2 gloves have a hybrid system of bending sensors and inertial sensors and IMUs, and we're utilizing the best qualities of both of those sensors to get the best possible result.
Yeah, we did a sensor fusion type of thing in the firmware to make sure that the strengths of one work with the strengths of the other and the weaknesses are compensated by each other. That's why the glove and the fingers look so stable when we showed the Prime 2.
Yeah. Next question. Will there be an iClone plugin? Yes, there will be. We are working together with Reillusion, the company behind iClone, to integrate Manus Core, our SDK, into iClone for both the Prime 2 gloves as well as for Polygon.
Are there any plans to create clothing items for tracking the body rather than just the hands? Yes, sir. As we showed, as we showed on the roadmap, is we are developing a strap set, and this is going to be an agnostic strap set with probably be painted the connector system of the Prime on every spot, so you can use the strap set with your SteamVR trackers, but you could also use it with OptiTrack trackers. Just click and remove. So it will be a very nice entry-level mocap set that will be compatible with all of the industry hardware.
Next question. How much will this cost in American dollars, and will it work with SteamVR? Well, in regard to the cost, you should contact your local reseller for a quotation. And in regard to SteamVR, for Polygon, we are utilizing SteamVR for the tracking on both the hardware and the software side, and we are looking into making the data available in SteamVR as a SteamVR hardware device, which might be what you're asking for. This is a upcoming feature, but we don't have a date we can announce yet. Any further questions, Serdal?
Okay, it seems we had all the questions. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. I'd like to thank the crew that did an amazing job making this live stream. I'd like to thank the R&D team, the software team, and the hardware team that's working around the clock to make these products happen and hopefully somewhat on time for you to ship out and enjoy. Again, if you have any questions or you request a quotation, you can always reach out to your local reseller. They are certified Manus resellers. They're amazing partners. They know our products. They can help you out. They can give you a quote. We support them 100%. If your region, for some reason, doesn't have a local reseller, you can reach out to us directly. We'll help you. We're happy to help you. If you have any questions or feedback, you can always find us in any channel. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day. And from me, from Manus,
Thanks for watching.
stay safe.